Indiegogo campaign for Fear Clinic is because a lot of times, not me, but the producers and the writers behind some of my films, I'm not around for that year that they have to knock on doors and pitch and take meetings. And I've seen it with a couple of people I've worked with before, and I know how much it frazzled Tim too to do that, because they're writers and they're producers, but they're not. That is part of the job of producing, but that can be, as an actor, it's like too many auditions. As a producer, you also have to deal with that door getting closed on you and that rejection when you're pitching. One of the reasons that I encouraged Scott Glosserman and Behind the Mask and those people, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, and one of the reasons that I'm supporting Mark and Robert Hall and the people behind Aaron Drain and the people behind Fear Clinic is because I want to do this movie right. This is a great script. And I get a lot of scripts, I do a lot of movies, and this is one, like The Rise of Leslie Vernon, that I really believe in. It's a terrific, it began originally as a feature film. We wanted to make a movie, and then we had to meet this crazy challenge with FearNet of doing webisodes, which was new to all of us, and a real mindfuck trying to contract storytelling into webisodes. These 5-minute little tasty things, and a picture's worth 1,000 words, and what does that really mean in the terms of 5 minutes worth of storytelling, and how can you bring in backstory and things like that? Well, that took a lot of our time, and we did such a great job, and I'm so proud. We really raised the bar, I think, for production value. We were so proud of our work, and we've had such an intense fan response over the years. I think it's close to 5 million hits now, that we think we want to make the movie again. And we locked Aaron, we expanded his brain and said, no more webisodes, think big now. And we sent him back in there with his early drafts of the feature script. And some more input from Robert Hall, and he and Robert Hall sat down and really, really shared some ideas. And they've come up with just this extraordinary script. So here we are. And that's what we wanted. Well, Aaron Drain, our writer, Aaron's really smart. He's almost too smart for this world. Aaron came up with this great concept. And after a while, I realized that it served some of the baggage that I carry for having played Freddy Krueger for so long. But it was so fresh, it wasn't anything like Freddy Krueger or Nightmare on Elm Street. But there was a similar hook. Instead of nightmares, and entering a nightmare world and confronting Freddy, I would, as a scientist, with a good heart, turning darker accidentally, and through kind of adjacent damage from my creation, the fear chamber, I would facilitate patients with incredible, crippling phobias to rid themselves of that fear. And I love the idea because we sat around and we started making a list of all the phobias. Now there's the obvious ones: fear of heights, fear of bugs, fear of falling, fear of water. There's all those obvious ones. And then the more you delve into it, it gets richer and richer and much more psychological. And we had this list, and we said, my God. And I think the most difficult thing is trying to really just settle on which phobias to exploit, because some of them lend themselves more psychologically, some of them lend themselves more visually. You want to avoid the cliched ones, a little bit, but you also want to maybe introduce one of the easiest ones so that the audience viewing it can take that hook and go with you as we get more complicated with them. Fear of the dark, which was Danielle Harris's particular phobia. So I just thought this was such a great idea. I couldn't believe anybody hadn't done this before, and a scientist who's trying to cure phobias.